All right, guys, how's it going? Now, before I get into this video, I just want to let you know I'll be hosting a live stream on here today, but I don't know when. It'll probably be around 1 o'clock UK time, all right? Keep an eye on the channel, all right? You need to click on my username, and it will tell you when that stream is going to be, when I schedule it, all right? It's going to be the last one of the year. It'll be about for an hour and 15, something like that. I'd love you to come along, all right? That'll be this afternoon. So, yesterday, I didn't get around to discussing this. Now, I've seen some of the Twitter twats catching up on this today. We touched on it yesterday, and it was to do with this article here. The article was about Real Madrid sounding out Marc Guehi. We touched on that in a video yesterday. If you didn't see it, I would go and watch it. I thought it was interesting, okay? Now, in this article, Ibrahima Konaté is discussed. Now, the article was penned by Marco Ruiz. Now, he's a long-standing Real Madrid reporter for AS. He's not a reckless rumour merchant and generally works within the club briefing ecosystem rather than pure speculation. That's from my notes yesterday, often used to soft float Madrid interest without committing the club. He's reliable on who Madrid are monitoring. And his articles are frequently called or referred to as positioning pieces, signalling awareness, leverage, or optionality rather than imminent action. Okay, he's not known for inventing stories and links, but Madrid interest, when he talks about it, is kind of Madrid intent kind of thing. Okay. The briefing basically is someone that they go to get stuff out there. Let's just say it like that. Now, in the article, they touched on Konaté, and I'll read it to you word for word. It's only a paragraph. Madrid have several other options on their agenda. I've got a notification. Madrid have several other options on their agenda besides Guehi, such as Ibrahima Konaté and Dayot Upamecano, who are also out of contract. However, as this newspaper has been reporting, the Madrid club are unwilling to enter bidding wars for any player. And in these latter two cases, therefore those two players, one of them being Konaté, the agents involved have escalated their salary demands to a level that moves them away from Madrid's idea of how to strengthen the position. All right. So in other words, let's focus on Konaté. He's asking for too much money, being greedy in their eyes, in their views. Now, if you remember, a few weeks back, David Ornstein, there's only two journalists in the world you need to listen to regarding Liverpool Football Club, David Ornstein and Paul Joyce at the Times, right? That is it. And so they're very reliable. That you can take what they're saying as someone wants you to know it, right? So Ornstein publishes this it wasn't a dedicated article from memory, but it was a piece about Real Madrid ending their interest in Konaté. And it was co-written with two other journalists, one that focuses on Real Madrid at The Athletic and one that focuses on La Liga in general at The Athletic. And basically, we spoke about it in depth on here, and it was a collaborative piece which felt like Liverpool and Real Madrid wanting to kill the suggestion of Konaté to Real Madrid. It was very, very suspicious, and it still is, right? And because it came from nowhere, because Real Madrid have been chasing Konaté for ages. Jose Felix Diaz, he's been banging on about it forever. And what's interesting is that Jose Felix Diaz, who is the closest journalist to Real Madrid, like our Paul Joyce and Liverpool, for example, he's the closest to Real Madrid and Florentino Perez. When The Athletic came out, Ornstein and co, and did that piece, he never responded. He didn't come out and say, he didn't come out and backtrack or anything. He's just left it. Right, which is really, really interesting, which to me suggests something's off. Now, I've reached out to Jose. I've spoke to Jose before during the Trent situation, right? I haven't heard back from him yet, but that was the same last time. It took him a long time because he's a busy man. And maybe I won't hear back from him. He might not want to comment on it. But Jose said nothing, right? Now, before that Athletic piece by Ornstein and co., I read to you an email on here in the mail stand feature, right, which said Real Madrid were becoming really pissed off with Konaté's agent. Do you remember that? And the suggestion was, the email from memory, the video's on here if you want to search it, was Real Madrid were annoyed with Konaté's agent because they thought, Real Madrid, that they had an informal agreement with Konaté and his agent for him to go there on a free. In other words, we thought we thought this was all done kind of thing, right? And the suggestion was that they were pissed, at his agent still continuing to speak to other clubs. So I got shite in my eye. My eyes are a fucking nightmare. That's why I've got these on to try and reflect the screen, right? So we were aware of that. It was like, but we didn't know at the time if it was true, right? Because I receive emails doesn't mean they're true. So the suggestion was, and I'm sure it was a week to 10 days before the Athletic article, the Ornstein article, Real Madrid are pissed off with his agent. They're getting fucking really sick of him, right? And then all of a sudden, 7 days, 10 days later, Ornstein does the Real Madrid have ended their interest, which made the email seem believable, didn't it? Like, oh, there was a problem then. There was something going on there. And now, if you think about it, in this latest piece, they're saying that this journalist that's worth listening to is saying, oh, Real Madrid, Konaté is a player that they're interested in. They are interested in him, but they're not willing to meet his demands, which would explain why Real Madrid were pissed off with his agent, right? So I think it's all fallen into place. I think that email was genuine. Now, if Ibrahima Konaté wanted to sign for Liverpool, it would have been done ages ago. We're now into the new year. We see these Twitter twats and content instigators constantly saying new deals have been offered here, left, right, and fucking centre. Right? It's obvious Liverpool are going to continue to do everything they can right up until the death. I might have more emails about this. I'm not sure. I've got some mail stand videos for you coming up. All right. I'm just not sure what they're about. There's a few that I need to look at. So what I'm doing here in this video, the reason for this video is to tell you what was in this article yesterday. I did go over it briefly when I did the Guehi video. But just to update you that Real Madrid do still have an interest in the player, but won't pay the asking price, the terms, the personal terms, if you like, maybe the signing on fee, the salary or whatever, asking too much money. If you are alarmed about, where does that leave the Marc Guehi situation? Does that mean that you need to watch my video from yesterday about Marc Guehi? There's no point me going over it again because I've addressed everything, which is what set all this off, really. And that was the first time Madrid have gone in on the Marc Guehi interest. So I'm going to leave it with you. What I'm going to say to you is what I've been saying all along. When Ornstein came out and said Real Madrid have ended their interest in him, I was like, something don't sound fucking right here, guys. I've been suspicious ever since then. We can link it together and say, well, yeah, they were pissed with his agent, and that's right. So you can see maybe they have ended their interest. But it seemed like Real Madrid and Liverpool were trying to do it together. Liverpool through Ornstein, Real Madrid through the other individual or individuals, like an effort together to kill the suggestion that he might go there. I really do feel that both clubs were working on that together, but I don't know why. But what I do think is something still ain't right with this Konaté situation. We know that he's been linked with Bayern Munich. We know if he's been linked with PSG, that's very easy. There's also chatter of one of the Milan clubs. I can't remember who, probably AC. I honestly can't remember. I need to check my emails. All right? So we're none the wiser, really. But the reason why you need to know about this is they're saying, no, they are interested in him. But the money, the personal demands are too high. And that kind of backs up my confusion, because I was saying to you, hang on a minute, they've been after this fella for fucking ages. You don't just end interest like that for no reason, So it's, for me, maybe not you, because I think most people are like, fuck him, don't care what happens. Well, I don't care what happens to Konaté, to be honest with you. But for me, it's one of those stories or situations where I'm really interested to see how it works out, to be honest with you, what happens to Konaté. If he signs for Liverpool, he always wanted to sign for us, yeah? There was a suggestion that because Real Madrid had dropped their interest in him, that Konaté was angry with his agent, was pissed off with him, trying to resurrect the situation. My hunch, and it only is a hunch, is that something could still happen with Konaté and Real Madrid. Could, but I don't know. I just think that I don't see a lot of genuine, credible speculation reporting surrounding his future. Konaté wanted to go to Real Madrid. Real Madrid wanted Konaté. Therefore, it happens subject to the Wonga. So if his agent reduces the demands, I think Real Madrid would take him. The thing is, if I remember rightly, Jose Felix Diaz did a piece saying that Upamecano was considered more of a better player, but they thought that Konaté was the easier deal to do. You know, I don't see Real Madrid getting Marc Guehi though. All right, I'm going to leave that with you. Unfortunately, we can't really conclude this one at the moment, guys. But I'll keep watching it. I've read the papers today. I've gone through all the Spanish papers today. There's nothing in them about Konaté or Marc Guehi, okay? I'll keep an eye on it for you. Like I say, I have messaged Jose Felix Diaz and said, well, come on, what's happening? Is he going there or what? I told him straight. I said, hang on a minute. You said this. You said that, not in a provocative way. But, hey, you've gone with this narrative, this story for a while, Jose. And then Ornstein's come out and basically said the opposite, and you're quiet. I'm just wondering what you think. It's whether he will come back to me because maybe he wants it to be quiet. You know what I mean? So if I start doing a lot of this, right, I've heard back from him, all right? You know how to work me out, don't you? If I start saying to you in a future video, right, I was speaking to someone, in Madrid, you know who that is, right? But I might not be able to name him. I'll let you know if I hear out from him. All right, guys, I'll leave it with you. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, if you found the video informative, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. I love to hear from you. It's a great way of supporting my channel, thumbsing up the videos and leaving a comment. There's a love heart of the video if you want to support my channel. It's called the Super Thanks. Thank you very much. Channel membership, shout out to the squad. All right, they're people with a football next to the name. And there's 3 links in the video description if you'd like to buy me a beer. Would it be New Year and all that? Revolut's my favourite one, to be honest, but they're all the same. It's just Revolut is my favourite one. That's the one I look at and go, that's my beer kitty. All right? Yeah. All right, guys, I'll leave it with you. I've got a lot coming up for you today, so stay tuned. And remember to look out for my live stream this afternoon.